Hey everybody, it's Greg from Park Journey. So we just got back from 2 days at Disneyland on Thursday and Friday of this week, and we tried out the Lightning Lane yesterday. So we did one day without Lightning Lane, and then we did Lightning Lane. I don't know why I can't say that, Lightning Lane on yesterday. So I kind of wanted to share my thoughts on it. I did share some thoughts on Twitter last night, as far as my initial thoughts on Lightning Lane. Why can't I say that? How it kind of impacted our day. Not all in a positive way, unfortunately. I will say, this is the third day that they had it. So I'm, ready to take a, wait and see approach, to see hopefully they can improve it a little bit. I do have some thoughts on actually how they can do that. But we'll get into that here in just a minute. Before we get into the video, make sure you click below to subscribe to our channel. Greatly appreciated. So as I mentioned, we went down on, we actually went down on Wednesday night, stayed down at our favorite hotel down there, which is the Hilton Anaheim. Super easy walk over to the parks. And then Thursday we opted to not do the Lightning Lane because it was, kind of a rainy morning, rainy day, a little bit. And plus it was, our anniversary, so we weren't really, gonna just ride. So it was, a rather nice and relaxing day at the park, to be honest with you. In the morning we did some Fantasyland stuff. We did like Peter Pan and Snow White, and Toad. We were going to do Small World, but it wasn't open until 10. So we did that later in the day. We walked right on Space Mountain at like 9 o'clock after having some breakfast at Tomorrowland. We, were able to do, Pirates and Mansion. For the most part, just a really, easy day in the park. We did, pretty much, everything that we wanted to do. We did Big Thunder twice, Casey Jr. later in the day. And then over at DCA, we did, Radiator Springs Racer, single rider. We did, Spider-Man. So, it was a pretty, easy day in the parks, to be honest. I'll get into a little bit of the Lightning Lane, impact, in a minute here. And then yesterday, on Friday, the 10th, I should know that, it was the day after my anniversary. We did do the Lightning Lane. And just some initial thoughts on it. We were huge fans of Max Pass. We didn't have annual passes when Max Pass was a thing. So a couple of the visits, we were only going maybe every year and a half. So we pretty much did Max Pass every time that we went, just because, we wanted to be able to experience things. And we were huge fans of Max Pass because it was familiar. It was basically just an extension of Fast Pass. It had the same kind of time restrictions. You chose your Fast Pass time or your Max Pass time. It was not really anything, different than what you would have with Fast Pass. You could do multiple rides on the same day if you wanted to, if the Max Pass times lined up. For me, it was just basically like, I don't have to walk to Space Mountain to get a Fast Pass. I could be in, Frontierland and get a Max Pass or my Fast Pass for Space Mountain. And that, in that regard, it was perfect as far as we were concerned. We were just really huge fans of it. We didn't really use the photo pass part of it too much. We always seem to forget. Even yesterday with the Lightning Lane, we used it in the morning and then we kind of forgot that we had it. Kind of a weird thing. But like I said, we were huge fans of the Max Pass. I'll link here to a video that I had done a few years back. My review of Max Pass. So like I said, we kind of went into it hoping that it would kind of be a similar thing to the Max Pass. Unfortunately, our experience was like 180 degrees the opposite. Where Max Pass we really saw the benefit of it improving our day overall in the park. Lightning Lane just seemed to make it a little bit more stressful than what it really needed to be. I think the biggest issue with it is that you can only do everything once. So I think there's 19 rides on the Lightning Lane. And then yesterday was, a chilly day. So you have things like Grizzly and Splash Mountain that were only 5-minute waits all day. You have things like Incredicoaster that didn't open until like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Things that would go down. And then, with the Lightning Lane, you feel like I've got to stay in this line because I can't come back and ride it later. I've already scanned my ticket, and that's it. With the Max Pass, if something went down, okay, I'll just come back and do that later when it comes back up. So that seemed to be one of the huge issues with it. The other thing is we noticed first while riding Spider-Man on Thursday, we did the standby line, is that, at first it seemed like the ratio of standby to lightning lane was about 5-1 in favor of the lightning lane. Turns out it's actually closer to like 10-1 ratio. When there's a lightning lane line at the attraction, it's a 10-1 ratio of people from the lightning lane. When we did Guardians yesterday, I had posted a picture. I'll post that. I'll put that picture up here. The lightning lane was back into Adventures Campus, and then it kind of wrapped around kind of a switchback, and it took probably half an hour or so in the lightning lane. And then here's a picture of the actual queue for Guardians. The queue is not even full. It's like maybe 2 or 3 switchbacks in there at most. A week ago, this would have been, a 20-minute wait for Guardians, if even that. It was posted at 95 minutes for that wait. You hopefully can see in there, the amount of people that are in that standby line. So the impact to standby is just horrendous. Even with Spider-Man, if you have the full queue full and not using the back part, it's usually 60 minutes or so. It ended up being about 70-75 minutes. Even something like Radiator Springs Racers, where they weren't really using even the extended queue that goes by flows at all during the 2 days we were there, it was still an hour and a half, 2 hour wait because of lightning lane. So it was definitely having an impact on some of the bigger rides. And then some of the other rides that didn't really have an impact at all. So definitely a negative impact on standbys, where, again, with the Max Pass, as far as I was concerned, it was Fast Pass. And we were kind of used to that ratio of, 4-1 or whatever it was, Fast Pass to standby. But there was a couple times on Thursday, we were standing in the same spot for like 10 minutes when we were riding Spider-Man. So definitely, a very negative experience in that regard as far as that's concerned. We also did single rider on Radiator Springs both days, once on Thursday evening and then once yesterday afternoon. It's now with the upcharge for Radiator Springs Racers, that is the best value in the park as far as I'm concerned. We waited maybe 5 minutes yesterday, where the lightning lane line was rather long, and it was like an 85-minute wait for Racers. So definitely take advantage of that if you can. Now, as far as like the app itself, every time that we open the app to open up the lightning lane to make our selections or to redeem our ticket, it kept asking, do you want to upcharge to ride, Spider-Man or Rise or, Radiator Springs? Like, I don't need to have that pop up every single time. And then some of the things that it was suggesting, like, the tips and things like that were, things that we did not select that we wanted, and then it kept popping up like the audio stuff. I'm not going to Disneyland to listen to something on my phone, to be honest with you. I'm sure some people would like that, but I didn't really see the point of it. And then, the photo thing, we took some pictures in the morning with the Christmas tree at DCA. We took some other pictures at DCA, and then, like I said, we kind of just forgot that we had it. But the other thing is we didn't really see any PhotoPass people at Disneyland. We looked in front of the castle. We wanted to get some pictures in front of the castle. Didn't see anybody there. The Christmas tree line at Disneyland is always, super long, obviously. But yeah, we didn't really take advantage of it. So as far as, what I think that they can do to improve, the lightning lane is, here's what happened last night. We got lightning lane for Space Mountain, and went in the lightning lane line, and then the ride went down, and I'm standing in the same spot for 10 minutes right at the entrance to the mountain. Not only did they say, oh, the cast member basically told me the rides are not closed, it's just down for whatever. To kind of cover themselves, basically saying, no, you can't get another lightning lane later because you've already used it, even though you didn't ride. they kept letting people in the line for the lightning lane, even though the ride was down. Even on the app, it showed Space Mountain is down here. You can see it here. And as I was walking out of the lightning lane, they kept letting people in the line. So by the time I was walking out of the lightning lane, Space Mountain, people were coming in there. The line was like out to like the entrance of, the first sign of Space Mountain for lightning lane. So once it did go open, you're talking probably a 30-minute wait just for lightning lane, just to get on Space Mountain. Whereas we walked on it on, Thursday morning. So that's one of the huge things that they could really do is, allow you to switch it to something else, even if you've already ridden it. So let's say they said, Space Mountain's down. You can go ahead and switch it to Big Thunder. You ride that again. I would have been totally fine with that. So that's one of the things. And then, some of the other, again, Splash was 5 minutes all day. Grizzly was 5 minutes all day. Let people, pick 19 rides. If you want to ride Space Mountain 19 times with your lightning lane, why wouldn't you be able to? Just give people 19 rides and let them pick which ones they want. The reason why they don't is because they know nobody's going to use lightning lane for things like Monsters Inc., or probably Roger Rabbit. It's just not going to be one of those attractions that people use it for. Autopia. Come on, who's using lightning lane? If they could pick, who would be using lightning lane for Autopia? But there's this perceived value there that, oh, you get 19 attractions. Well, I think thinking back on yesterday, we rope dropped Guardian so we could ride it twice. So we waited in the standby. We did lightning lane for Monsters right after that, even though we didn't need it. It was only a 5-minute wait, but we weren't going to ride it twice. We did lightning lane for Soarin', which was only a 10-minute standby time at that time because we weren't going to ride it again. Had breakfast. Did single rider for Radiator Springs. We did lightning lane for Toy Story, which was the first time it actually benefited us. It was a 75-minute standby, and we waited 10 minutes, if even that. Incredicoaster was down on morning. Did lightning lane for Goofy Sky School, which I probably didn't need to do. I was a single rider. My wife doesn't ride that ride, so I probably didn't even need it for that either. And then we did our Guardians, which ended up being, again, like a 30-minute wait for the lightning lane. So we didn't even, Grizzly, Incredicoaster, I think that's it. Those are the only ones at DCA we didn't do that are lightning lane. And then over at Disneyland, on the lightning lane, we only really used it for Mansion, Big Thunder, and Small World, and Roger Rabbit. So 4 of the attractions, and Buzz, so 5. So that's, 9 attractions out of the 19 that we actually used the lightning lane for. Obviously, the benefit was, Toy Story and Mansion was, obviously the benefit of using the lightning lane. So basically it was, and probably Small World, which was, maybe a 30-minute wait all day. So for us, I don't know if the perceived value was really there, to be honest with you, just because of the way that our day went, with, things being down that we wanted to ride, things like that. So I don't know. Again, we used MaxPass probably 4 or 5 times. I saw the value in it every single time. I don't really see the value of it. This is the first time since Rise has been open that we have not ridden Rise. We didn't even go in Galaxy's Edge the 2 days that we were there at all. So, we weren't going to pay $20 to ride Rise. The standby line was, it would kind of come up and down. But every time we were over in that area, it was always, over 2 hours. So, like I said, from first weekend that Rise was open until our last trip, in November, we've always done virtual queue and had no problems with it. So this was the first time we actually hadn't ridden it on a trip to Disneyland, which is kind of weird for us. But I mean, we had a great time, despite, the lightning lane. Like I said, things like this are supposed to, make your day easier, make your day less stressful. I did not get that impression at all. Did not make our day less stressful at all. If anything, it actually added to, made more stress on our day yesterday than we had Thursday. Thursday was just cake. We had a great relaxing day. With Lightning, we felt because, we paid for it, we had to, do all of these things. And then when it turned out we couldn't do those things because they were closed or, the lightning lane was too long or whatever it was, it really kind of took away from our day. So, I hope they do improve it. We're planning on going back in January. I don't know. I think we might need a little break, to be honest with you, from the parks. We've been going every month since, the Magic Keys came back. So I think we might kind of need a little break, and we might cancel that January reservation and just go back in February. Maybe we'll try it again then. Hopefully, obviously we follow a lot of YouTubers and Disney people on Twitter. So hopefully, we'll start seeing some improvement of Lightning Lane over the next couple of months, and we'll hopefully try it again and have a completely different experience. And I will come right out here and admit it. We did try a lot of the food as well at DCA for the festival holidays. So I'll have another update on that in the next couple of days as far as, the food we tried. Most of it was very good. And then we also took a look at Toontown and stuff like that. So I'll throw up another quick video update on probably Monday or Tuesday, as well as some pics on the site. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Just some quick thoughts on Lightning Lane. I just don't know why I can't say that. Thanks again for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.